Right. Hello. I don't normally do talking to cameras. It's very strange for me, but hopefully I'll get used to it. Right. Okay. So, Dare just finished. I know some of you might not know what that is. Basically, my mum will probably watch this. And it's a showcase in Dundee for games. There's a proper competition-y bit, and I was not a part of that. Me and my friend Matthew went into this sort of indie fest, I think it was called, with a game, and we showed it off to the public for 4 days, 8 hours Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and 6 hours Sunday. Although not really, because me and Matthew arrived 2 hours late, because that's how we do. But no, it was really cool. How to play 3 games that were all good, and um, they were Gravity Pong. I think it was called, it was about Nigel Farage. I think it was called A Day in the Life of Nigel Farage, but I'm not entirely sure about that. And Hedra, I think. This word. I don't know. All 3 of them are available now, and you should go check them out. And then you should do that, and then you should check out the game me and Matthew made, because I'll put that up on the internet, and it's really good. But no, yeah. So to go into it, me and Matthew made a game called The Gods Are Wanting, and we found out the submissions closed. We found out the submissions were a thing 3 days before they closed, and we thought we should make something for this. And and well, I mean, we made something for it. We were tweeting our development, which if you search the amalgamation Jathu on Twitter, you'll see all of it. But our game ended up as 2 stages, and first stage you built a monster, second stage you fought the monsters together, and it was 4-player. You could play it 2-player just by ignoring 2 of the players, because we weren't very good at that. But it started off as like you could plant trees, and then at one day only, there was a car that you drove, and like we didn't really plan our development or talk. We just did some stuff, and then we were surprised we got in. I submitted a proper game that you could play and finished. It was exciting. And they were like, we don't want that. No. And then me and Matthew submitted 3 pictures of the game, and they were like, "You know what this is? Can we have a video?" We're like, "No, we haven't. We don't have a video of any footage because we've only started this 3 days ago." And then Matthew got a phone call being like, "Do you want to do Thursday and Friday as well, Saturday, Sunday?" He was like, "Yeah." And then we had to finish it because apparently we got in. And so Matthew came up to my stay with me on the Wednesday, and we did some development. And he went to bed a little bit earlier than me. I went to bed at 4 a.m. thinking I'd fixed it. And you went up at 7 a.m. knocking on the door, being like, "Nah, mate. Nah, you ain't. What was that? Nah, you ain't fixed it." And yeah, so 3 hours sleep. The show started Thursday at 10. We finished at Thursday at 12. And then we had to do it to the public. Me and Matthew played our first game 30 seconds before the public did, and that's basically how the entirety of the show went. But yeah, no, people seem to enjoy it. We decided we wanted to make something that was fun on the show floor, like specifically for the show floor. So it was all physicsy and 3D, and I don't like 3D development. There's a whole other dimension, and it's scary. But like, kids seem to enjoy it. They don't really understand what's going on, but they seem to enjoy the colours at least. We had several colours in there, all the best ones. But I mean, it was very, very broken. Like on day 1, all days really. When you fought each other, and then say, one of the monsters has died, game over, and it basically just sort of like, I mean, there was some internal logic to that, but it was essentially decided at random. Like, you could just be walking along and it would go like, you died, oh no. And then like, I have a sneaking suspicion over the entirety of the 4 days that you could only damage yourself. And so the best tactic to do was to actually put more arms on the other team's monster, so they were more likely to damage themselves, and you'd win. Which, I mean, we didn't tell anyone because then our game wouldn't. I mean, I guess it would have worked, um, but yeah, it was. So we had Matthew's laptop showing the game, and my laptop, I was fixing it or attempting to. And I would keep going and explaining it because our game wasn't very intuitive at all. We had a list on a Trello called Boring Stuff, which was like instructions and menu. We didn't get around to any of that. But yeah, it is some stuff. It's some stuff. And yeah, I kept not closing my laptop, and then kids kept trying to play our GitHub repository, and that was very scary. But no, we finished it. And it was all right. But it was about so we did, yeah. So showing, this was my first time showing to the public. It was really cool. Within like first day, Thursday, within an hour or so, about 4 kids played it. They really enjoyed it, and they kept coming back. And we told them, we're like, if you come back the rest of the days, we'll have added more stuff to the game. Because that was our genuine intention at this point. But we didn't do any of that. And they came back on Friday, being like, what have you done? And we were like, no, we broke it last night. We spent 2 hours fixing it. And they sent them on their way. And then they came back later and played it. And they were genuinely enthusiastic about it. And that was really nice. Like our games hard were broken, and children kept saying like, is it coming to Xbox? Is that on Xbox? And we were like, no. If it was, that would be cause of a concern. Microsoft would be slipping greatly. But we weren't planning on doing anything. We weren't planning on releasing it because we thought it wasn't very good. But people kept asking to download it, so we will, I guess. And people kept asking if they could vote for us, which they couldn't. But I told them not to let that fact stop them, that they should vote for us. We didn't win anything. Which, I mean, was fair, really. But we had, no, so some of the kids liked it. There was a very small girl playing it, and she was loving it. She was jumping down, smiling. She didn't really get what the game was. She was having a good time. And her brother came along, who was slightly older. I was like, oh, I'll beat my sister. They played 3 games, and sister won all 3 matches without really understanding what was going on. And then you see the brother was like, nah, I've had enough of this, and walked off. The mum was like, yeah, we should go. And the little child was like, yeah, no, I want to play. But she made a monster the first time, and then got to the fighting round, and she, I assume, accidentally just sort of shouted out within 30 seconds of starting the game, how do I kill myself? And the mum looked at me a little horrified, and I looked back, laughing really, because it was hilarious. But despite that, I think she really enjoyed it. And all the kids were as enthusiastic. Some kid played it. And I was like, what do you think of the game? She went, where's Minecraft? And I was like, oh, at home, probably, hopefully. And then there's another kid who really liked the game on Friday. And I asked him if he was coming back on Saturday. He said, yeah, I'm coming back with my friends. I was like, right, well, what you should do is you should come back to us, pretend you don't know what the game is, and be like, oh, yeah, let's go check that thing out. And then you can, beat all your friends. It'd be really good. And so on Saturday, he did that about 5, and the show was ending. And I didn't remember any of this. So he came up and he's like, so how do this game looks cool? How do we play it? I was like, haven't you played this before? He was like, he looked at me like, come on now. He's like, no, I haven't played it before. And for some reason, I got really annoyed at this slight against me. I was like, yes, you have. Just because you've got a hat on doesn't mean I won't recognize you. Why are you lying to me? And he was quite taken aback. And he was like, we agreed. And I didn't get it. I was shouting at him. I wasn't shouting, but I got annoyed for some reason. And all his friends must have been thinking, why have you taken us to this really aggressive man's stall? And then I remembered and I apologized, and I felt very, very bad. But for about 10 seconds, I thought this kid was trying to cheat me out for some reason. I didn't understand why he was lying. And then I realized it was because I told him to. That's why. That's the only reason kids lie, if you tell them to directly. But no, adults didn't really get it. They'd play it and be like, I kind of like the idea, but it doesn't work. Like, no, it doesn't. And they weren't very forgiving of that fact, and like the kids. But sometimes felt quite bad. Like, I mean, I still found the game hilarious. Like, people didn't really get the controls, and I found, and that was because the controls weren't very good. And I put the controls in for one of the stages, that people wouldn't get, and I'd laugh mainly at my own incompetence, but parents would think I was laughing at their children. And so one mother asked me, do you laugh at all the children? You know, and then in brackets afterwards, or just mine? I was like, no, I laugh at all of them. It's it's even. Um, uh, and there was another time when four kids were queuing up to play it, and one of them disappeared. And I was like, well, it's four-player, and they were all shouting to this kid like, oh, you should come back and play it. And I was like, yeah, you should come play the game. And he's like, no, I don't want to. I was like, oh, you should, because it's good. He's like, no, 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 no. I was like, oh, you're only the second person I've asked to play the game. You said no. You're breaking my heart. And then Mum just looked at me and went, you need to get thicker skin then. And that seemed to be the end of that cell. So I disappeared. But I feel like I got my patter down quite well on the first day. Repeated it. People seemed to enjoy it. Doing a sort of narration. Because like I said, like the game over screen didn't really work, especially on the first day. We did some tweaks, but sometimes the game would end immediately on arriving at stage 2. Sometimes games would last about 7 minutes. And I had to try and keep up the sort of excitement levels during a game that was clearly broken. That was quite difficult. And to the point where I got automatic with it at some point. And a friend of mine came and said hello. And then some people came, so I was like, all right, I need to go and explain the game to them. He was like, oh, don't worry, I'll go off. And automatically, without thinking, I was like, oh, thank you very much for playing. Enjoy the rest of the show. He said to me like, no, mate, I didn't play the game. I was like, oh no, I realized I was too far gone at this point. But I think, yeah, no. So the adults, so most of the adults didn't really get the game, but I think they enjoyed playing it vicariously through their kids because they got really into it. So it was like a fighting game, but it was all very cute. You like these little pink orbs and those eyes everywhere, and yeah, so there were two little boys playing it, and their dad was like, they were just having fun. They were enjoying. They're playing the flowers. They weren't fighting each other at all. It was really sweet. I felt bad for making this violent game, and they were just wandering around. But Dad was going like, "No, you need to get more arms. You need to hit him," and like, I'd taken a little bit aback. That wasn't the worst one. The worst one was, so it was split controller, and sometimes when two kids were playing, me and Matthew would join a team each and play with them, basically to speed things along. And so we got to the fighting stage, and you control a leg each. You had to communicate, and this kid was going, oh, let's run away. And behind me, I could hear them being like, nah, you ain't running away. You gotta get in there and you gotta get in and fight them, hit them, rip their arms off, which isn't a mechanic in our game. And I was getting quite like, nah, hit him, punch him, rip him off, make him explode like a tomato. And at this point, I'd dropped the controller and I'd gone to the notepad and was writing down everything she was saying because it was genius. And I was saying it back, and I turned around and I was like a tomato? Why is that your frame of reference? She just looked at me and went, no, I don't like them. But, so that happened. But on the whole, it was really good. Like I said, I'm going to try many things. Within the 5 minutes before the public left, but everyone didn't pack up, I sort of went around, tried a game or two each evening. One time, me and Matthew were queuing up for something. We turned around, saw the security guards were trying to work out our game. I went back, and so it's three, quite big, burly men trying to work out our rather cutesy. And they were like, "Oh, what is it?" Because they must have heard fighting and enjoyed. I think they enjoyed the idea of fighting. Like, what is it? I was like, all right, it's this little pink thing. You're that, and you're skipping along in the flowers, trying to pick up arms. But they played 2 rounds, so clearly we got through to them, and that was my defining achievement. But no, that was really good. I meant to make this video very short. I thought my notes say make it 4 minutes, Jack, and I've noticed that this thing says 14 minutes. So if you've watched this far, you should reevaluate how you spend your time. But no, that was very good. I'm glad I did it. I should have done it last year. I showed off a game near the end that I made last May. So I should have ended last year. And I did it on Sunday, and people enjoyed that. And I was like, oh, should be doing this more. But yeah, no. So if you have games, show them at there, because it's really good. In terms of me, Matthew, I think we say we're going to work on it, but everyone says they're going to work on all the projects. So we'll put it out there. You need to play it with DualShock 4s, which I don't know how prevalent they are. Everyone kept asking us if it was going to be Xbox, so not very in Dundee at least. But maybe we'll work on it some more. But otherwise, that was our Dare experience, and I think that was everything about it. The end, really. I'm gonna go back to bed. Bye.